Yes, we're back again. Back again. I like streaming this early. It's nice. It's 9 o'clock here in Los Angeles, 9 o'clock in the morning. Been up for a little bit. It's a good time to air my thoughts while my brain is fresh. Liverpool did win 5-1 yesterday, but I still feel the need to wear my delusion proof glasses. Now, I know it's a pretty stupid gimmick. It's kind of corny. It's kind of dumb, but I don't care. Also, I like wearing sunglasses inside. Sue me. Either way, 24 hours later, not even 24 hours later, a night later, not loving what I'm seeing on Liverpool Twitter, post a 5-1 victory in the Champions League. Seeing a lot of bullshit flying around. Seeing a lot of nonsense building up. Feeling the tension in the room of Liverpool. A lot of tension after winning 5-1. A lot of things being said about particular individuals at the football club. A lot of things being said about the way that the football club plays. We're going to break it all down. We're going to go through all of it. Now, unfortunately, I'm on a free StreamYard account, which means I got to be tight with my time. I only get a certain amount of hours per month until I can upgrade. Just going to have to march through things quickly. And to everyone who tuned into the watch along yesterday, thank you. Appreciate you. Not sure how many of those I'm going to be able to do. The best for me are games that are in the afternoon Pacific Standard Time. Unfortunately, on the weekends, if a game is airing at 4:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, there's no fucking way in hell I'm going live for something like that. It's just not happening. But either way, we're going to break down some of the stuff that we've been seeing on Liverpool Twitter post the 5-1 victory. Pick up Javier. Pick up Yaw. Hope he keeps personal apart from forced injuries. The change setup again, though. Hopefully stay tight formation. I think you mean personnel, but I understand what you're saying. Either way, let me get the screen share set up so we can dive into some of these bullshit that we have been seeing. Not yet, though. Not yet. It's important as we look at this game that we stay grounded. We have to view this game for what it is. We played a team in horrendous form. A team that went up 1-0 and gained some confidence. We struck back on the back of a counterattack that Frankfurt should have done more with because no one was in the center of the box. Andrew Robertson on the first time plays in Hugo Ekitike. Ekitike makes a run from the halfway line by himself, scores. Okay, cool. 1-1. You don't see anything different from Liverpool after that. You just see Frankfurt sitting off a little bit more. Liverpool continue with the pressure. Liverpool still aren't playing good. But Cody Gakpo starts to take some responsibility. Takes on his man a little bit more. Wins a couple corners. Finally puts the proper delivery in. Virgil van Dijk, near post, uncontested. The corners before that were horrendous. Virgil van Dijk scores. It's 2-1. Confidence for Eintracht Frankfurt. Shot. Liverpool are up 2-1. Still aren't playing good. Still aren't moving well off ball. Find ourselves with another corner. Opposite end of the field. Szoboszlai delivers at the front post. Konate scores. 3-1. Frankfurt's completely shot at this point. Done. We should mention the fact that the shot that Christensen made is not a high percentage opportunity. He was doing his best Marcelo impression, right? Like, that counterattack could have been better. And the counterattack was a result of Florian Wirtz trying to do something on his own, which I don't have a problem with because for the 20 minutes before that, we were passing the ball laterally consistently. It wasn't leading to anything. So Florian Wirtz tries to take on his man, loses the duel, and then, we just get done in. But where Christensen found himself in the box was not a high percentage area, and he hit it perfect. Mamardashvili had no chance. But outside of that, in that first 20 minutes of the game, I wasn't clenching my butthole. I wasn't worried. I was just upset with how we were playing in possession. Either way, second half begins. Everything changes because the whole off-ball movement structure has now changed. Then we're cooking. First half is a 3 out of 10, regardless of the score. Second half is a 10 out of 10. Exceptional. Hey, we were set piece again, ole, ole, all right? Set piece again, ole, ole. I'm all for it. But how many times are you going to get 10 corners and score 2 in a game? It's not sustainable. Either way, doesn't matter. Because the second half performance was there. But it still doesn't change the fact that we didn't concede too much in the first half, but our offensive structure was just atrocious. Categorically atrocious. However, you've already begun to see agendas on certain players. Already. Criminal. People are talking about Mohamed Salah. Mohamed Salah is going to be the first thing that we talk about here. I have a whole agenda written out. Not an agenda, it's just like my literal agenda of what I'll be talking about. People are having a go at Salah. I was doing watch along. I screamed, "You selfish fuck," when he didn't pass it to Florian Flirts, but that's it. Right? I left it there. In the moment, I criticized his decision-making when he found himself in that area. As a fan, in that moment, you have every right to sit here and yell, "You selfish fuck." But that's where it should end. Full stop. See all these fucking dickheads going onto Twitter, making all these tweets, saying all these ridiculous things about Mohamed Salah. Brother, leave it at the game. Leave it in the game. There was nothing that he did in that game that should make me go through the process of, I didn't like that. Let me pull out my phone. Let me open Twitter. Let me click post. Let me type a hateful message. Now let me post it. Nothing he did in that game was worthy of that line of logic. Nothing. Should he have played Florian Flirts? Yes. Should he have played Florian Flirts against Manchester United? Yes. Should he have put it on target against Chelsea? Yes. But I understand the mental space that Mohamed Salah is in right now. He's used to being the guy. He's used to being that guy week in, week out. Unfortunately, when Mohamed Salah finds himself on the pitch now, he isn't involved in the game because we operate on the other end. Cody Gakpo has been our, for one reason or another, main attacking outlet this season. So it's difficult for Mo to find himself in the game. And because it's difficult for him to find himself in the game, when he does get an opportunity, he's a little bit rash. He rushes a little bit. It's been a while since he scored a goal. That's who Mo is. To get angry at that is to deny his nature. I'm not going to do that because I'm not a fucking idiot. Like all these dickheads on Twitter are. They're all fucking idiots. Make no mistake about that. Anyone who takes the time to post something hateful on Twitter about a player is a fucking moron. Yes, I just called over thousands of people fucking morons because you've proved it with your actions. It's not Mohamed Salah's fault that he can't get involved in games. It's the fault of the fact that we operate on the other end of the pitch. Now, it's not an excuse. It's more of just framing my criticism. I'm grounding myself in the reality of the situation before I make a crazy judgmental conclusion. You can't just jump and say the guy sucks without looking at why does he suck. That first half, Florian Wirtz was taking up the position that I have seen Mohamed Salah in all season. We were running a 4-4-2, and Florian Wirtz was playing as the right-sided midfielder. Now, albeit he did rotate, he had some freedom. He was able to go to the left, able to go to the middle. But for the most part, when he got on the ball, right-hand side of the pitch, right-sided midfielder. Didn't lead to anything. That first half was his best impression of Mohamed Salah. That told me that Mohamed Salah's lack of output isn't down to him, because Florian Wirtz was asked to do the same thing, and Florian Wirtz couldn't do shit. It wasn't until Florian Wirtz moved into a central position in the second half where he started to influence the game. So right now, the right-sided issue, it's not just Mo. Anyone who is playing right wing or right-sided midfielder is having difficulty because of the off-ball movement of the rest of the players. This does not excuse what happens when Mo does find himself in the proper positions, because that just hasn't been up to par. But at the same time, it's difficult for that to get up to par when he only gets 1 or 2 chances a game. It's difficult for that to get up to par when he's no longer the focal point, because I now have more options. It's not an excuse. It's just grounding yourself in what's going wrong. Simple. You can view it like that, or you can just be a dickhead, go on Twitter and tweet, "This guy fucking sucks, big fat cock." It's completely up to you. I'm just not going to view it that way, because I saw another player give me the same dog shit for 45 minutes in the same area that you occupy every game. So we've gotten Mo out of the way. Stop hating. He's still the best player this club has ever seen. He's still the best winger in the history of the Premier League, in my humble American opinion. And we're not playing to his strengths. His end product is failing me, but I'm failing him everywhere else. 25% of the equation is Mohamed Salah's end product. For that, he is failing. But that's just 25% of the pie. The other 75% that the team is responsible for is failing Mo. I know that because it failed Florian for 45 minutes. Simple. Either way, we're not going to harp on this for too long. We've talked about Mo. It is what it is. Give me a second to pull up the first bit I'm going to be talking about here. I want to show a screenshot from the first half. I know the people who have been here have seen what I've shown time and time again. And you've seen the consistency in the images from game to game to game. During the first half, when we were running this 4-4-2, I found that I would constantly see guys occupying the same area with no movement, which led to dog shit play. Dog shit play. Because of that. How many times have I shown you an image that looked like this? How many times did I show you an image against Manchester United that looked exactly like this? How many of you watched the stream with James Redman? How many of you remember me specifically talking about this? Players standing in the same area and jerking each other off. This was Liverpool's structure in the first half. This is horrendous. This is terrible. This is dog shit. This is no goals. This is concession of goals. This is the major issue right now when Alexander Isak, Cody Gakpo, Hugo Ekitike, Alexis McAllister, doesn't matter. When we have a certain combination of players Guys love to occupy the same zone. Mohamed Salah is a culprit of this. This is instruction based. Because I see it every single week, I know that it has to be instruction based. They have to be told, this is the space I want you to occupy. There are 4 defenders against 3 attackers. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 midfielders in between the ball and our front 3. This is our front 3 right now. This is a lose-lose scenario. This is horrendous. And this was the main problem in the first half. Same problem we had during Chelsea, same problem we had during Manchester United. We converge in the central area. I know I talk about compacting the structure, but this is not compacting the structure. This is being a fucking idiot. The only thing that could happen here is he plays it in behind and hopes that one of these guys beats their defender. What are the odds of that happening consistently? What are the odds of this cross not getting blocked? What are the odds of it getting through? What are the odds of him playing a perfect pass? It's not a high percentage structure to have the ball on the left wing and have all 3 guys in the same area. That's the first thing. But I'm specifically highlighting that because we've seen it so many times. Here's another moment. How many times have we seen this? Here we see Florian Wirtz in the same position that Mohamed Salah finds himself every week. Every time he starts, I mean, bro, just forget that this is Florian and imagine it's Mo. 2 defenders. 1, 2, 3 guys in between Florian Wirtz and our 2 attackers, Ekitike, Isak, jerking each other off, smoking a spliff, chilling, lawn chair out. What is this structure? I mean, already Florian finds himself in a position where he can't even get the ball and recycle it. Now he's got to make a play by himself just to get the ball to Frimpong or just to get the ball to fucking Szoboszlai. But like, this is instruction based because I've seen it every week. It's only because I've seen it every week. If this was just a screenshot of one game and I hadn't seen it before, I would sit here and I would say, on the day Ekitike is invading Isak's space, because I don't have an issue with where Isak is. I have an issue with the fact that Hugo Ekitike isn't here. One of these 2 should be here. If one of these 2 is here, all of a sudden the whole defensive structure changes. You have to think about this, right? The way that you set up your offensive structure is directly correlated to the way that the defense sets up their structure. The more compact and out of the play I make my team, the more compact your defense is in the area my whole team is. Example. When I do this and I compress 4 guys to one area, look at where their defense is compressed now. If I put 3 guys in one area, look how easy it is for them to just defend this. 1, 2, 3 central defenders, 1 guy on the outlet for Connor Bradley, and 4 midfielders in front of them. It becomes insanely easy because you're compacting yourself, over-compacting yourself in one area. When I say I want to compact the team, that doesn't mean I want everyone in the same area. That means that I want there to be options around the ball at all times. That does not mean stick 3 guys. I don't even know what this is called, the half circle. Stick 3 guys in the half circle and pray. Look at where Dominik Szoboszlai is at this current moment. I'm sorry, that's not Dominik Szoboszlai. Who is that? I can't even, this is Curtis Jones. Look at where Curtis Jones is. Curtis Jones finds himself behind Frankfurt's striker with 4 midfielders behind him. The only option here is lateral movement. And even if we were to move the ball laterally to the right side of the pitch, there's 4 guys who are moving laterally with us, staying in front of the 3 at the top. Again, this is just the first half criticisms, people, because everything changed in the second half. I disagree because I'm constantly seeing the structure every game. So it's not down to players gelling. It's down to instruction because I've seen it every game. But this is zero-sum football, and this was our first half structure, which was so starkly different from our second half structure. And the second half structure is what I need to see going into Brentford and the rest of the season. This is exactly how Manchester United played against us. This is exactly how Chelsea played against us. You're probably sitting there, and if you watched, the Chelsea stream or the United stream, you're probably thinking to yourself, I feel like I've seen this image before. We can just change the color of the jerseys. You're right, you have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you stick 5 players in this zone, Liverpool, for some reason, will constantly leave themselves a giant fucking brick wall to have to break through. And even if they do break through that brick wall, everyone who needs to get the ball in a dangerous position is occupying the same zone. So at minimum, it's man for man. Minimum. Let me continue. I'm trying to find the second half now. To me, the big issue is that people in the first half, everyone's playing walking simulator. Like, watch how this attack progresses. Just watch. Look at what everyone's doing. Notice what Connor Bradley is doing. Notice what Isak is doing. Notice what Szoboszlai is doing. Can anyone tell me what they're doing? Let's watch that one more time. I know it's really slow, and I know it's really boring. But can anyone tell me what they're doing? Your eyes are not deceiving you. This is not in slow motion. They're walking. They're walking. They're not presenting themselves as attacking options. And because they're walking, look at how quick the defense needs to move to cover space. Watch. Watch. What are all the defenders doing? The defenders are just matching our tempo. That's it. It's all they need to do. Expends very little energy. Means that your legs aren't going to go. If you play this slow, lethargic walk ball, it's very easy for them to cut passing lanes. I mean, look at this. Ekitike tries to make a run here, right? But there's no one else making a run. If Dominic Szoboszlai recognizes in this moment right here, and that this is instruction-based, make no mistake about it. This is instruction-based because I'm always seeing everyone walking. If Dominic Szoboszlai or Connor Bradley were more in tune to what's going on in the game at this moment, once Ekitike makes this pass to Florian Wirtz, if I'm Szoboszlai or I'm Connor Bradley, I need to drive into this space. I need to make these two defenders start to worry about me. I need to drag some attention away from Florian. If Szoboszlai starts running here and he takes one step, one single step, look, Szoboszlai, if he just runs right here or he runs right here, and this defender takes one step this way, look at the passing lane that now opens. 1, 2. If Szoboszlai were here, he'd have to worry about Szoboszlai. He'd have to worry about Szoboszlai. If he takes one single step this direction, Ekitike's in. One step. But because there's no off-ball movement, because there's no one dragging defenders, because the defenders don't have to think about anything, because we're moving at a snail's pace, the lane never opens. And you can see that Florian Wirtz is looking there. He's eyeing the defender right now. He sees this lane. He wants to play it so bad. He wants to play Ekitike in that half space. But no one is making this defender think about anything other than being in between the ball and the goal. Because of that, look, watch how he reads. You see how he jumps like that? And you see Florian Wirtz's body shape? Florian Wirtz wants to play this. This is what he wants to do. That was the whole purpose of this 1-2 movement, was to allow Ekitike to drive into space with his speed so that Florian Wirtz could play it in. But no one here decided to run in and create another angle. What if Dominik Szoboszlai were right here? We just asked Szoboszlai to attack this space. Even if this defender doesn't bite, guess what? Bang, bang. All of a sudden, I now have a triangle I can make. Angle 1, angle 2. Angle 1, angle 2, right? I need him to move. This is what Dominik Szoboszlai did in the second half. Dominik Szoboszlai began to move. Connor Bradley began to move. But the issue here is that they're not being told to, because that's what I'm seeing every fucking game. Do you understand that analysis? Like, this is something that anyone can do. The way we play, anyone can view it like this. All it takes is just a little bit of fucking effort to see. That's starkly different to this next picture. Look at the structure. Now, this is from the second half. Look at the structure that we have now. Everyone in this picture who's up here is in motion. Every single guy moving. Szoboszlai has so much space to drive into. Florian Wirtz has so many different options. Here, 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 or here. Szoboszlai's moving. Szoboszlai attacks the space. Szoboszlai scores. That's it. That's all you had to do. Look at how the dummy runs drag defenders out of position as well. Chiesa, I believe this is, obviously drags the right back all the way down. This dummy run dragged down defenders. Now there's a little bit of a gap here. Now there's one guy left to defend 1, 2, 3 different guys because of the off-ball movement. And boom, great finish. Excellent finish. But that's all created because of off-ball movement. Everyone moving. This is another thing I want you to notice. This is what we began to see in the second half. I started to see 5 guys around the center circle, what we like to call here the chlamydia zone. The boys, they wanted chlamydia during that second half. They wanted to be in this zone. They wanted to be here, and we were thriving because of it. At a certain point, our back 3 was Andrew Robertson, Ibrahima Konate, and Virgil van Dijk. Or Andrew Robertson, Joe Gomez, Virgil van Dijk. And the 2 double pivots kind of turned into Szoboszlai and Wirtz, and you were seeing Curtis Jones and Connor Bradley essentially playing wingback roles, right? Curtis Jones, from the 70th minute to the end of the game, was occupying this space right here. And Connor Bradley was occupying this space right here. The back 3 was occupying this space right here. And Szoboszlai and Wirtz were occupying this space right here. The rest of the front 3 was free to move because the structure at the back was solid, which meant that my 3 guys, Chiesa, Cody Gakpo, and Hugo Ekitike, or whoever else it was able to flow through the space. These guys all had options. I'm going to highlight one goal. Give me a second. Let me go to it. I can't just be showing Twitter. You know what I mean? Twitter's a dangerous fucking place. This was our 4th goal. What do you notice about the structure in our own half? What do you notice about the number of players in our own half? What have I been asking for 6 weeks? I've been asking for you to build up with 5. I've been asking you to drop 5 guys into our own half, 6 guys into our own half. I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and he just left our half, so that would be 7 players with 3 up here. But Liverpool are the kind of team where we have the quality to do that. We have the ability to do that. All of the sudden, I'm outnumbering the fuck out of your team. I have 6 guys, you have 3. Watch the space that Dominic Szoboszlai gets to run into. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 guys in my own half building up into the opposing half. Everyone else, are they overeager yet? Chiesa's not overeager. You see, this is a very important specific highlight. Federico Chiesa made a staggering impact. Even though he didn't have a GA, what he did was he occupied the zone. He occupied pivotal spaces when midfielders were trying to cover ground. You see, in the past against United and Chelsea, what I would see as Dominic Szoboszlai is carrying this is I would see everyone moving towards the goal, moving away from the ball. By Federico Chiesa staying there, all of a sudden, Szoboszlai has an extra option. These 2 defenders have to be wary of him. One pass, and Chiesa can take 1 turn. So neither of these guys can really step. They have to defend both. Because he has to mark him, all of a sudden that leads a passing lane open to Florian Flirts. If Chiesa was over here, which is what I've usually been seeing the front 4 running as a cohesive line away, leaving the midfield 3 to just triple team whoever's carrying the ball into the half. Because Federico Chiesa selflessly stays here, he keeps these defenders where they are. That opens the lane for Florian Flirts. At this moment in time, look, you see, watch his head, right? His face towards Dominic Szoboszlai. He knows Chiesa's here. He's covering as well. 2 guys preventing this pass. That would be the traditional play. Watch his head. As he turns, he sees Florian Flirts, right? His head is now looking to the left. He sees Florian. He sees the pass. He knows he's done. And look at the space that he conceded because he needed to cover Federico Chiesa. Because he has to stay here, that opens a lane. Szoboszlai, I've heard that Szoboszlai can't pass. We talked about this yesterday. Big up Assam, but he's talking about how players can't fucking make passes. Well, boy, oh boy, did that second half shut that shit the fuck up. Boom. Pass in. All of a sudden, Florian Flirts now has space. Cody Gakpo now has space. There's fucking infinite options here. And look, they're all behind the ball. All because Federico Chiesa is a selfless saint. That's it. Make no mistake about it. I don't care who you are. Number 1, most important thing, 6 on 3, infinite options. Look at Konate. Konate's just like, thank God, bro. Thank God I don't got to fucking carry it into their half. Thank God I can just fucking chill. Chiesa stays. And watch, I want you to watch how both of these guys converge on Chiesa. Watch how they both snap together to try to cut this passing lane. Ready? See how tight they get? See how they're both walking towards each other? And because he walks, look, right here, this lane's not open. Right here where he is, this lane's not open. If Federico Chiesa runs, he doesn't have to converge. He can just stay there. Because Chiesa comes towards the ball, he's got to take that 1 step. And what did we talk about before? If Szoboszlai had taken that step, it would have opened a lane for Florian Flirts to play a 1-2. Szoboszlai could have played it to Isak. He could have played it to Ekitike. Infinite options. Chiesa draws the man. The lane opens. Bang. We're in for a goal. This is in the second half. But that all is spawned because we're easily able to bypass a press because we're outnumbering it 6-3, and someone decided to drop. This is what I'm not seeing. I'm not seeing this in the Premier League. I'm seeing all 4 of these guys run towards goal, no one trying to make any sort of dummy move, any sort of dummy run. We can do this all fucking day. We could do this all fucking day. I mean, look, he doesn't even have to Pass it to Cody Gakpo there. I mean, Ekitike could have kept running if he wanted to, but I think Ekitike saw Gakpo and he's like, he's just going to play it there. But Ekitike has all of this space to run into. So let's just say this guy is a fucking speed demon and somehow cuts that passing lane off. Well, if Ekitike has infinite amount of space to run into, Florian Wirtz could play it first time here. There's so many different fucking combinations that could occur because of the one ball in behind, because of Federico Chiesa's selfless movement. If you want to call me El Tactico, that's fine, but at least I'm showing you evidence to back up what I'm saying. I'm not just blowing shit out of my ass. I want to show another thing. Give me a second. Got to open up X. Got to go onto Twitter. Show you guys. I want you to see something. So we see this tweet from Asim. Big up Asim. He's highlighting where Virgil van Dijk and Ibrahima Konate are. I think that that's crazy. That's what you're choosing to focus on here? You're choosing to focus on our defenders. When in reality, look at the structure of this offense right now. Look at how easy it is to defend. I have this giant hole with no one there. Your defense starts at the midfield, and you have completely sacrificed your midfield because you did some bullshit fucking overload on this side of the pitch. Obviously, Liverpool don't have the ball at the current moment. But it doesn't change the fact that you've left a giant fucking gaping vagina right here. Look at this. That's like 40 yards of space. What? That's like 40 yards. That's like 40 yards. That's like 40 yards. That's like 25, 30 yards, 25, 30 yards. Just a giant, uncontested black hole with two Frankfurt players. This is the problem in this picture, not this. This is the issue. This is what I can't see. There's another highlight. Same thing goes for this. This is in our transition defense. This is the issue. Right here. Look at that. Open zone, open lanes. No one there. I got three guys too tight to the ball. Simple. We love to leave gaps in midfield, whether it's on offense or defense. I have to think that that is entirely instruction based because I see it all the time. Let me go to the rest of what I had. I just got to delete what I've already talked about because I need to actually like write it down. I find that if you write things down, it's easier to be structured. Isn't that crazy? Now, to me, listen, the video was clearly copyrighted, right? But let's just read this together and let's see how fucking ridiculous this is to say. Florian Wirtz has shifted the paradigm for Liverpool FC. We were known for energy and spirit under Klopp. Now with Flo as our talisman and Messers, Jones, Soboslai, Gravenberch, and Ekitike, we are arguably the most technically supreme team in Europe. What the fuck are you smoking, bro? And can I have some? Is it opium? Because I would like to try some. Is it hopium? Is it copium? We are not the most technically supreme team in Europe by any fucking stretch of the word. We are good technically, for sure. And we could be a lot better than we are right now. But we're not even close to being the most technically supreme team on the planet. And technicality means nothing if you never have an option. Technicality means nothing if your structure, if this is my structure, technicality doesn't fucking mean anything. Like, what potion is that yellow bottle? This is water. This is aqua. I thought that this was going to be orange. And when I bought it off Amazon, it said it was orange, but it looks like the color of shit. Like this is like diarrhea, brown, orange, dog shit color. I'm fucking pissed. I thought it was like a neon orange. Fucking stupid. Yeah, but it's diarrhea orange. All right. It's dog shit orange. It's literally poop. It's a poop colored water bottle. I'm pissed. I was pissed when I opened it. Regardless, no amount of fucking technicality is going to change the fact that this is just ass. I mean, you saw players like Dominic Szoboszlai put in a hell of a performance in the second half. I have seen so many people talk shit on Dominic Szoboszlai's technical ability. Meanwhile, when you gave him fucking options and spaces to run into, and he actually did it because the coach allowed him to, we created so many opportunities. We probably could have scored like 7 goals that game. We could have scored way more than we did. There was one moment where Dominic Szoboszlai was carrying the ball and Mohamed Salah failed to stay onside. If Dominic Szoboszlai plays him in, Salah's at a one-on-one. Do I think Arnie will remain stubborn with his vagina ball? Listen, we're going to talk about Brentford. We're going to talk about Brentford, but not yet, because there's one player we have to talk about. So we've talked about the structural changes that we had in the first half versus the second half. We talked about the difference in the halves that we played yesterday. We talked about our set pieces. We talked about the 4-4-2. We talked about our pressing. We talked about our transition defense. We talked about the defense starting in midfield. Now we have to talk about this individual. We talked about Salah, but now we have to talk about the elephant in the room. The elephant in the room is Alexis McAllister. My best midfielder last season. My Argentinian. I don't like Argentina, but I like Alexis McAllister. So I put my agendas aside for him. But right now, McAllister is a detriment to this team. McAllister is an anchor, holding us back. Curtis Jones against Frankfurt solidified his position in the starting midfield. He must start against Brentford. Alexis McAllister's cameo against Frankfurt showed me that he is a major issue in that midfield. McAllister constantly occupies the number 9 position. McAllister constantly finds himself behind the mid-block, not in front of the mid-block, where he should be. McAllister needs to be in front of the mid-block. He's behind the mid-block. His positional awareness, his touch, his passing, it's all off. But the main thing I'm pissed about is where he finds himself on the pitch consistently. That's not where I want him. That's not where he can be. And unfortunately, I don't have any faith in him changing, because every time he's on the pitch, he's in those same areas. Whether that's him or Arne Slot, I don't care. All I know is Curtis Jones, at least, he shows me some initiative that he'll go off script. McAllister won't. So I can't see McAllister playing right now. There was a noticeable difference in the control that we had before McAllister came on the pitch and after. When we made the substitution for Alexis McAllister and Dominic Szoboszlai, for Alexis McAllister and Mohamed Salah to come on the pitch, we immediately looked worse. Immediately, the fluidity in the off-ball movement was completely changed. McAllister is never where he needs to be for being the left-hand sided 8. Ever. Curtis Jones is always where he needs to be. Always. Yes, Tyler. Uncomfortable conversations. Now, this isn't to say that he can't improve. I think all of it comes from the fact of where he's being asked to be. But the difference is that if I tell Curtis Jones to be somewhere, he'll go off script if he feels the need to. I haven't seen McAllister go off script. Like, McAllister's not taking any initiative in games. Because McAllister's not taking any initiative, I have to go with Curtis Jones. That's what I'm saying, bro. I don't fucking know. Some of it is due to the fact that, in the Premier League, we want to build up with 3. So it's not all his fault, but Curtis Jones is 100% better. No, he's not freestyling. That's not what I'm saying. Curtis Jones is disciplined and he does his job. But Curtis Jones has shown me in moments that he is willing to take risks. He's willing to move himself to help the flow of the game. McAllister isn't. And even when McAllister does get the ball, he's hindering me. Curtis Jones is not. He's out of form and he's being asked to do something he shouldn't be being asked to do. He is our truest 8 when we actually build up properly. Let me pull something up for you guys. Let's rewind the clock here. What do you say, eh? You guys want to hop a little time machine with me? Let's do it. Me, you, and a time machine. Here we go. Ready? When McAllister is actually playing as a deep-lying midfielder, he's exceptional. But McAllister is never asked to be here. Ever. Ever. This is never where McAllister is. Just for the sake of argument, I'm going to pull up a different thing. Right? Like this area that McAllister just picked up the ball in, I feel like I'm never seeing him there this season. He's never here. McAllister, in fact, is always, I just need the screen to move. McAllister is always up here. He's never back here. He's always up here. And I don't know why. I don't know why. Maybe that's down to slot. All I know is he is not picking up the positions I need him to pick up. I need McAllister to help me break through the mid-block. I don't need McAllister behind the mid-block. 2 very different things. Either way, it still doesn't change the fact that we just looked completely different when McAllister and Salah came on the pitch. And that's no coincidence, people. It's no coincidence. We already touched on Salah. We already talked about how unfair it is to have an insane go at him when Wirtz found himself in that same position yesterday and was unsuccessful until he was actually moved into the 10. But when Salah is getting his chances, he's being selfish. They're not leading to goals. I don't always need him to be the one to put the ball in the back of the net. I'm okay with Mo getting 20 assists and 5 goals. I don't need his goal output anymore. I need his creativity more. Right now, we need Mo's creative side more than we need his finishing side because I have other killers. I have more sharks in the pond. So I need you to help me feed them. I don't need you to be the great white shark. I just bought 3 great whites. I need you to be the fisherman throwing the bait to attract the sharks. Can't be a lone 6 and he can't cover an attacking fullback. He can't cover the ground. Yes, he needs to be the double pivot, but he needs to be in front of the mid block, not behind the mid block. Every team this season is going to set up something like this. Give me a second. I want you guys to pay specific attention against Brentford. Because all these mumbo-jumbo fucking morons are going to tell you that Brentford are going to set up in a low block. If someone tells you low block, I want you to look at them in the face and I want you to say, you're fucking stupid. Okay, promise me that. Promise me that. Promise me that if someone tells you Brentford, low block, you point to them and you say, "You're dumb. You're dumb." This is how Brentford are gonna set up against us, because this is how every team, including Southampton, set up against us. They're gonna pack 5 right here. Unfortunately, at the current moment, the way that we build up is something like this. This is the position that McAllister is constantly finding himself in. Or McAllister will be over here, or he'll be over here. But there always will be 4 or 5 guys in between the back line of 4 trying to build up and the guy who needs to connect the dot. This is the way that Arne Slot is trying to play. He's trying to play with one connector to the front 5. That way, when we get the ball past the mid block, we have tons of options. Doesn't work. Doesn't work. The shift that we made in the second half is this. This is how we were setting up in the second half. All of the sudden, oops, all of a sudden, I had Curtis Jones, Connor Bradley, Szoboszlai, Florian Wirtz, or whoever the fuck else it was, and I had the front 3 moving, creating space, creating dummy runs, creating pockets. I think you're being facetious and sarcastic, but yes, that is the formula to beat this team. Mid block, mid block, mid block. This is what you saw in the second half against Eintracht Frankfurt. This is what I need to see against Brentford. Need to see 5 wide options. I need to see my front 3 actually moving and not being static little cucks. Static is the enemy of fluidity. Complacency is the enemy, and we were hella complacent in that first half, walking all over the fucking pitch. Can't happen. When we look to Brentford, let me just look at some of the comments here. I don't watch American football. We recently be trying to do Hail Mary in the last 15 to 10 minutes of each game to get a winner. Yes, we did. You have eyes, my friend. Okay. Listen, David. At the beginning of the game, we were pressing with a 4-4-2. Whoa. We were pressing with a 4-4-2, and we were content with letting them pass the ball around at the back. Once we went up 3-1 and we were more fluid in our offensive structure, we had guys occupying different positions and constantly moving. So when we would lose the ball, we were easily able to press, which is why Frankfurt were having so much trouble. No matter what, if there are a lot of guys who can counter press, you're forced to go long. Or you try to pass out the back. Brentford are going to try to pass out the back. There were plenty of times where fucking Manchester United passed out of the back. I mean, I had to sit here. Give me a second. I had to fucking sit here and listen to Arne Slot talk about how the difference in our press yesterday was that the ball was on the ground. Habibi, the fuck are you smoking? That is not what the difference in the fucking press was. Do you know how many times Frankfurt went long? Fuck out of here. You're blowing smoke up my fucking ass, brother. The difference in our press yesterday was that we were able to counter press because of the way that we were set up, how fluid we were, where the ball was getting to, where we were losing it, how many guys were around the ball when we lost it, how were we able to fucking counter press them. That's why we fucking pressed well, not because they weren't playing fucking hoofball, dude. Some of the things he says, I think he's trolling at this point. I think he wants to piss me off. I think he's seen the mustached man from Los Angeles, California, and he's like, fuck that dude. I'm going to piss him the fuck off. I need to troll that pussy. Because I'm like, brother, what are you talking about? That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, what he is saying is factually wrong. So he has to be fucking trolling. He has to be. Like, bro, It's simple. Like, if this is his way of, like, gaining an edge, because he doesn't want people to know what he's thinking, I respect it. Like, at this point, that's kind of what I think. I think any press conference with Arne Slot, he doesn't actually want to tell you what he's thinking because he doesn't want anyone to know what he's thinking, which I respect. He wasn't right. He wasn't right. The reason why we were forcing them to play it on the ground was because we were suffocating them. If I suffocate you, you don't have the time to play it long, Bones. Think about it. Think about it. If I get dispossessed, hold on. Ignore the setup. If I get dispossessed here, right? Let's say Cody Gakpo has the ball. Let's get this stupid ball off the fucking pitch. Can't have two balls on the pitch at once. If Cody Gakpo has the ball here, and we see this screenshot, actually, let's just do it like this. If he loses the ball here, number one, I don't have enough guys to press. Already, if he gets dispossessed or if he tries to cut inside, he loses the ball. There's 20 yards and 30 yards of space, and there's two other guys to pass the ball to. So immediately, I can't counterpress you, which means you have time on the ball, which means you have the time to pick out a pass. That's simple. It's that simple, guys. The more time they get, the more they can play long. But if we change this picture, which we did in the second half, and I had guys available to counterpress, all of a sudden, you now have 2 seconds to look up, pick out a pass, and ping it. I don't know. Unless you're Trent Alexander-Arnold, which there's only one of, you ain't doing that. You ain't doing that. You're going to play ball to feet because you're not going to be the guy that blindly hoops one across the pitch, which then leads to a counterattack because you just passed it right to Ibrahima Konate. Teams trying to build out from the back on the floor is directly correlated to your press. The less time they have to make a decision. The less time they have to make a decision, they have to play ball to feet because that's who they see. If I give you time, you have the ability to look up, see where runners are. Runners have time to start making runs. You have time to play the pass. That is not me knowing more than fucking Arne Slot or saying that I know more than Arne Slot. That is me being very pragmatic and analytical and blatantly fucking obvious in my analysis of the situation. For instance, if we look at Bruno Fernandes's missed chance against Liverpool on Sunday, that all started because Dalot got the ball because the counter press wasn't there, which meant that he had space and time to look up and find Amad Diallo. Because he has the space and the time to find Diallo, he plays that long ball, and now the ball is in the air. Your counter press will define how you get counterattacked. So it's an A1 trolling job from Arne Slot. A1. 4-4-2 isn't the solve by itself because it makes no difference when the front line is isolated. Well, we only played 4-4-2 in the press at the beginning of the game, and listen, the 4-4-2 was working. Like, it was. The only fucking chance that they got during the beginning of the game was Christensen's goal. And what happened during Christensen's goal? Florian Wirtz felt the need to try to do something because he constantly found himself in a position. I gotta fucking go back again. Give me a second here, people. This was the constant position that Florian Wirtz found himself in the first half, right? We weren't conceding anything when we were pressing with the 4-4-2. But what happened is at some point, Florian Wirtz got enough of looking at this fucking absolute dog shit, found himself here, tried to drive, lost the ball. He got the ball, Played it up. Connor Bradley's out of position. Ball over behind, ball across, goal. Low percentage shot, but it was a counterattack, and it was not a result of the 4-4-2. It was a result of the offensive structure. It was a result of how we were deciding to move the ball, how we were deciding to make off-ball runs, which led to him making an individual decision to try to beat his man, which led to a counterattack, which led to a goal. And that's not a high percentage shot that we conceded anyway. So I don't expect that to always go in. Listen, my word is law here. If I say he's wrong, he's wrong. You got to prove he's right. I just proved to you why he's wrong. Prove to me why he's right. If I say this bottle is orange, that's correct. If I say why this bottle is orange and you say because it's orange, you're incorrect. This bottle is orange because someone painted it fucking orange. What he said is correct, but he's just ignoring the why. That is the simple diagnosis of his statement. So yes, you are in a sense correct, but you're just ignoring the why. So I don't really care. Or if they're instructed to play long under pressure, then the opposite happens of what you just said, kind of like United did. That's not true. That's not true, because when United play long, the ball carrier who played the ball long wasn't under pressure. He had space and time. Same thing against Chelsea. Yesterday, they couldn't go long because we weren't giving them space or time, which meant that they didn't have the time to look up and find a runner, and they're not just going to blindly kick the fucking ball. So you're forced to play it on the floor. Two starkly different scenarios, with the catalyst being the counterpress. If you want to blindly hoof it, I'm down. Great. If you're just blindly fucking kicking the ball, which we did see a little bit of at the very end of the game, they simply blindly kicked it. And how many times did we see Frankfurt just hoof it to no one? There wasn't even a runner there, right? If you want to do that, I'm down. But that only happens because of the counterpress. And the counterpress only happens because of your offensive structure and possession, so that you're protecting yourself if someone loses the ball. Counterpress. We weren't closing people down against Chelsea or against United because we were too fucking spread apart. Same thing with Crystal Palace. The instructions on offense, yes. But if my structure is better, sorry, I just got a random notification. If my structure is better in possession, my players have more inclination to press the ball. Arne Slot isn't standing there and screaming press and the players hear him and they press. They just naturally press based on where they are on the pitch. That's a result of offensive structure. It all begins with how you play in possession. When you are the team that dominates the ball, that's going to have 70% possession every game, everything is derived from how you set up. Everything. You are the one at the wheel. They are the passenger. They get what you give. And that's based on how you set up, because you're driving the car. It's almost like it's too simple for me to sit here and say, if you put midfielders in the midfield, well, then we can connect our attack. Crazy work from you, Lissetti. Crazy work. It's insane of you to point out something so obvious. How dare you insinuate you know anything more than Slot? How dare you? Shame on you, sir. Yeah. Set piece defending has to shapen up. And it is not reliable to sit here and say that. I mean, we scored 20% of our corners. In fact, the only two decent deliveries were the goals, and they were at the near post. Everything else was a shit delivery that landed to 3 Frankfurt players. That was an easy clearance. I think going forward, our corner taking routine should be front post. Konate, front post. Van Dijk, front post. That's how we should operate. Both of those headers were uncontested. Both of them were at the front post. Sure, but slot points was that we can only press like that if the team is not playing long ball. You're not fucking getting it, Bones. They can only play long ball if they have that extra time. That's the only way long ball works. Otherwise, it's blind hoof. I'll play against blind hoof all fucking day. But if you give them time because you don't have a counter press and you're not closing them down, I don't need to play it on the floor. I can just find you. We're not disagreeing on the point. We're disagreeing on the cause of the point. That's simple. Michael Coyote long throws are spooky. The G-Tech is the heir to the Britannia. I don't know what that means, but big up. Defense, not so good. Yes, it is. It is good. It's just we constantly fuck over our defense. The midfield leaves the defense hanging to dry in transition. That's the difference. We actually defended well in the first 15 minutes. And the Christensen goal, it's not a consistent goal that you're going to be conceding. I will say the chance that we gave up right before we scored, right before Ekitike scored, that was Frankfurt should have done way better. There was no one in the center of the box. Bradley did well to block the shot immediately after we scored our second. So yeah, either way, looking to Brentford. So I got to start winding this down because I only get so many free hours. And as a Jew, I like free. Regardless, to me, half Jew, I should say. My mom's Jewish. I'm not a practicing Jew. Regardless, looking forward to Brentford. What I need to see is a carryover of the second half. I need to see the second half transfer. The second half against Frankfurt and that structure needs to immediately transfer to the first half against Brentford. That's the only way I'm looking at this as a success. I need to see us start this next game the way that we finished that last game. I need to see better structure. I need to see the double pivot actually staying at the fucking center circle. I need to see us building up with 6. I need to see us effectively bypassing a mid block. I need to see good off-ball movement. I need to see dummy runs. I need to see triangles. Fortunately, I think that the only way that's going to happen is I don't want to see Mohamed Salah starting. I don't think Chiesa is going to start. I'm not sure about the fitness of okay, that just comes from me being a conflict-driven human being. I love to fucking argue. I love it. It's like cocaine to me. A good argument is like a good high. You know what I mean? But to me, you have to take the second half. That's how you have to start. I cannot see Alexis McAllister starting this game. And I can't see Mo Salah starting this game. Scored 5 goals without Mo on the pitch. It's just what I have to see. I don't want people getting carried away with this win either. They're a piece of dust. It's a piece of dust. I can't see people. I don't want you getting carried away with a 5-1 win against a shit Frankfurt side. What I want you to get carried away with is the way that we played the second half. The structure of the team, the movement. That's what we need to take away, not the 5-1. Regardless of results against Brentford, that's what I need to see. Not to mention the fact that you shouldn't be getting carried away because the expectation after spending £500 million is to batter that dog shit Frankfurt side. That should have been the expectation. My floor should have been a 5-1. I shouldn't be going over the moon because I did what I was supposed to do. I did what I was supposed to do. I went, I saw, I conquered. That's what Liverpool are supposed to do against Frankfurt. So I'm not going to sit here and act like it's the second fucking coming. Not going to sit here and act like I'm ready for the fucking rapture. No. I will applaud what we did proper. I will applaud what I want to see going forward. And I will concede the fact that we did what I expected them to do. Batter the fucking shit out of a dog shit fucking team. We have a very important stretch of games coming up. We have Brentford, we have Palace, we have Madrid, we have Villa, we have City. I need to see this style of play carry over. Because if we play the way that we did in the second half against Frankfurt, I don't give a shit who we fucking play. All right, what is this thing in my mustache? If we play the way we did in the second half against Frankfurt, we can beat fucking everybody. I'll be confident against Madrid. I'll be confident against City. I'll be confident against any fucking team I play if we play that way. But if I revert to type, I'm fucked. We're dropping the soap in the shower. We're bending over. Pause. But not really, because that's metaphorically what we're fucking doing if we play the way that we did in the first half. So that's all I need to see against Brentford. Show me that second half performance. End this fucking game early. What I also loved is that when we were up 3-1, we kept going for more. We kept attacking. We kept seeking out the goal. We wanted another. A 2-goal lead is unsafe for this football club. A 2-goal lead is unsafe. I need to see 4-goal leads. I need you to make it impossible for someone to crawl their way back into a game. So against Brentford, I want to see a fucking first half thrashing. I want to see off-ball movement. I want to see everything that I've said for fucking an hour and 13 minutes. I'm tired of saying it again. I want to see that, and I want to see a big fat 3 on the scoreboard in the first half, because that's what we should be fucking doing against Brentford. Now, they are a bogey team of ours in the past, so maybe, we did need to have Darwin Núñez score a double in extra time. Just saying, guys, don't tell me Darwin Núñez did nothing for us. But that's what I need to see. My expectations, my floor was met against Frankfurt. I need to start seeing my floor being met, because I've lowered my expectations because of how this club plays. Help me raise the floor. Who are you, sir? I don't know. Who are you, sir? And spread a Casemiro. Yeah. Bro, if a fucking goalkeeper has a worldie against me, listen, Bones, if I had put in good performances and played the way I wanted to see us play and we still lost to United, I'd be in a much different headspace. Same thing for Chelsea and any other game this season. To me, it's about the way we're playing. You can make up a 4-point deficit in the league table in 30 games. What you can't do is play dog shit football and expect to win a league. First, I got to see the football. Then I'll start worrying about the table. At this moment in time, though, I'm at DEFCON 3, so I don't care about the table. I care about every game, and that's it. All I care about right now is Brentford. I don't give a shit about a title race. I don't care about the race to the Champions League. I care about Brentford. Either way, we've been going for an hour and 15 minutes. we are diving deep into our free StreamYard time. Hopefully, should be sharing an account with somebody, so I won't have to worry about the free hours that I get. Also, StreamYard, go fuck yourself. Free hours. Every hour should be free. If I wanted to, I could just hop on fucking OBS. That's simple. That if I'm on OBS, then I'd have to be watching my YouTube thing and I wouldn't be able to click on fucking, chats like this. Mike, did you play ball? When I was a kid, yeah. When I was a kid. Unfortunately, I don't have the legs to run around anymore like that. So not recently, no. But football's fun. Anyway, we're going to leave it there. As always, I want you guys to, when you're watching YouTube, when you're watching Twitter, even when you're watching me, take what I say with a grain of salt. Hear the words, look at the evidence yourself, formulate your own opinion. Don't just be one of those people that just views things and regurgitates the thoughts of others. Think critically. Think about the game. Always ask yourself why. Never revert to type of just looking at the end product and saying that's bad. Ask yourself, why is that bad? And you'll find tons of answers. And you'll be able to see the game better. And you won't get so fucking frustrated. If there's one thing I'm tired of, I'm just tired of bullshit fucking banter. Tired of fucking morons yelling at me like they know something, even though they can't tell me the difference between a press and a counter press. But big up to all of you. Appreciate you guys being here. Lester low-key did it. How dare you compare us to Lester? Big up Johnny. Big up PE. Big up everybody else who dropped a chat. Also, if you hop in and you're not chatting, come on, bro. Put a thought into the chat. Say something. Engage a little bit. I know that you're watching YouTube and then the second you type in the chat, all of a sudden that makes you one of those people that would type in a chat, but it's okay to be that person. You don't got to be self-conscious about it. You can type in the chat. It's fine. You can engage in discourse with people. It's not the end of the world. I know that because I was one of you guys, right? I would watch football YouTube and I'd be like, I don't want to be one of those people that chats and types something and talks. Why else would you want to be here? Yeah, fight with me. Come on. I need to see more fight out of you guys. I feel like I'm doing a whole lot of talking and ain't nobody fucking doing a whole lot of arguing back. Share your opinion. Call me a fucking idiot. Do it. I'd love to see you call me an idiot. In fact, it would fucking make my day because then I'd have someone to go after. And I'd have someone to argue with and fight with. So either way, big up. Appreciate y'all. I'll probably be on Husam's show tomorrow. There we go. See, I don't think I've seen you. Actually, I did see your name before. But there you go. See, more of this, guys. There's got to be some more toxicity here. There's 46 people. There was 80 people at one point. I've seen like 7 people chat. Come on, get those fingers working. Talk. Either way, big up to all of you. Appreciate you guys hopping in. Drop a like, subscribe. I don't fucking ever say that shit, but see, Ian, where were you all stream? I'm ending now and you drop a bomb like this. Come on, bro. See, like you should have said this 30 fucking minutes ago. See what happens when you type? See what happens when you say something? I would have gone in on you. I would have been like, let's fucking have a discussion. Because I think that this is fucking insane. I think you thinking that anyone else makes a difference in the structure of the way that we play, it's just lunacy. Like, it doesn't matter who you fucking get me fucking prime Sergio Busquets. It doesn't make a difference in the way that we structure ourselves to build out of our own half. But this is just too little too late. But next time, say something like this early so that we can fucking have a go at each other. You know what I mean? So we can argue. That's why we're here. We're here to fucking fight. We're not here to love. We're here to destroy each other, call each other names, and then shake hands after because that's what friends do. Also, if you haven't subscribed, drop a subscribe. If I get to 1,000 subs, we're going to spend $150 on FIFA points, and we're going to open all the packs live. See, there you go. Just talk a little bit more. Either way, subscribe if you haven't, share if you haven't. I want to get to 1,000 subs. We'll do $150 worth of packs. I think that's like 120 fucking packs. It's a lot of fucking FIFA packs. So it'll be fun. But big up, guys. Take care. I might be on Husam's later or tomorrow. We'll see if I do anything before the Brentford game. But at the absolute minimum, you'll see me after the Brentford game. And then I'm hoping y'all are ready for a fight. And y'all are ready for an argument. And y'all are ready to talk. Other than that, have a great rest of your Thursday. Take care. I'm out of here. Deuces Magoo.